O-R-I-O. And then we have Police Chief Timothy Simmons, T-I-M-O-T-H-Y-S-I-M-M-O-N-S. And then I should also include Deputy Chief Rico Rincon from the Richmond Fire Department as well, R-I-C-O-R-I-N-C-O-N. So, thank you all for joining us. My name's Lieutenant Joseph England with the Richmond Police Department. Thank you for coming today. We have a press conference that we are going to begin in regards to a fatal fire that occurred last night in the city of Richmond. I'm going to first start off with offering my condolences to the family, and a pure tragedy. We'll get into more details about that. First, I'd like to call up the Richmond Fire Chief, Aaron Osorio, to start us off. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Aaron Osorio. I'm the Fire Chief for the Richmond Fire Department. At approximately 8:08 p.m. last night, the Richmond Fire Department was dispatched to a reported structure fire involving a home on the 200 block of 15th Street. Our first fire company arrived at approximately 8:15 p.m. The incident was handled as a first alarm fire by the Richmond Fire Department units that responded. Those crews worked to extinguish the fire, search the property, protect the adjacent area, and bring the incident under control. The first fire was declared under control just before 9 p.m. The cause and origin of that first fire remains under investigation at this time. While firefighters were still operating on the scene and conducting cleanup and overhaul operations of the first fire, they were notified by bystanders of a second home on fire on the same block, 2 doors away from the initial incident. Due to the significant size of the second fire, along with the need for additional resources to support the number of victims, the incident was escalated to a third alarm response. Richmond Fire Department was assisted by the El Cerrito Fire Department and the Contra Costa County Fire Protection District. Firefighters immediately transitioned all resources to the second structure and initiated an aggressive fire attack and search. During those operations, firefighters located and removed a total of 4 victims from the second residence. The 4 victims were immediately treated on scene, and 3 of them were transported to the hospital. The second fire was declared under control at approximately 9:23 p.m. At this time, we can confirm that 2 of the 4 victims have succumbed to their injuries and are deceased. The other 2 victims remain hospitalized in critical condition and are continuing to receive medical care. This was an extremely difficult incident for everyone involved. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives. And we recognize the tremendous impact this incident has had on all the families affected. We also want to acknowledge the extraordinary efforts of the firefighters, police officers, and dispatchers who responded and worked through this incident. The investigation into these fires has been a collaborative effort between the Richmond Fire Department, arson investigators, and the Richmond Police Department with support from neighboring agencies. At this point, I will turn over this briefing to the Richmond Police Department Police Chief Timothy Simmons, and he will discuss their portion of this incident.
Good morning. My name is Timothy Simmons. I'm the Police Chief for the Richmond Police Department. As the Richmond Fire Department has explained, this incident involved 2 residential structure fires and resulted in the deaths of 2 victims and critical injuries to 2 others. I will address the Richmond Police Department's role in the criminal investigation separate from the Fire Department's investigation into the original cause of the fires. The second fire that was mentioned was immediately considered suspicious because it occurred only a few houses away from the first fire and began within a short period of time while emergency personnel was still responding to the original fire. Due to the suspicious circumstances surrounding the second fire, and the fact that victims were located, detectives from the Richmond Police Department's homicide unit responded to the scene and immediately began investigating. Detectives conducted interviews, gathered evidence, and worked closely with fire investigators and the Contra Costa County Crime Lab to process the scene. During the course of the investigations, detectives identified 32-year-old Sergio Rivera Vega as the individual suspected of intentionally setting the fire of the second home. Rivera Vega is a relative of the 4 victims and a resident of the home. And I'll repeat that. Sergio Rivera Vega is a relative of the 4 victims and a resident of the home. While detectives were conducting their investigation, Rivera Vega was located near the scene and was safely taken into custody without further incident. Rivera Vega was subsequently booked into the Richmond Police Department jail on charges 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of arson causing great bodily injury, and his bail is currently set at $2,500,000. This is an absolute unimaginable tragedy. It has taken the life of a man and a young child while leaving a woman and another young child literally fighting for their lives. My deepest condolences are with the victims, their loved ones, and everyone affected by this devastating incident, to include neighbors and this entire community. The Richmond Police Department will continue to conduct a thorough and comprehensive investigation. We will continue to work closely with the Richmond Fire Department and the Contra Costa County District Attorney's Office to ensure that every available piece of evidence is examined and the full circumstances of this incident are established, and that justice is properly pursued for the victims and their families and those that are survived by them. I also want to recognize our first responders who arrived at an incredibly difficult and emotional scene last night. Our police officers, our firefighters, our dispatchers, and our medical responders and others did everything they could under extremely challenging circumstances to save lives and keep other structures from burning as well in the neighborhood. These are incidents that deeply affect not only the families involved, but also the men and women who respond to them and to our community as a whole. This impacts all of us. At this time, I want to confirm that there is no current threat of public safety of anybody else going around starting fires or threatening to burn homes down. We believe that everybody responsible for this homicide is in custody. And I'm now going to turn it back over to our Public Information Officer, Lieutenant Joseph England, who will assist in answering any questions that you all may have. Thank you very much.
As the chief has said, this is still an active investigation that we're currently working on. So more than welcome to answer a couple questions, but a lot of the information we may not be able to speak about today. So feel free.
What is the relationship between...
Yes. So the easiest answer to that is the 5-year-old who's passed away. That was his uncle. So I'm going to divide this up a little bit. His uncle, another victim was his father, and another victim was his sister. That makes sense. Critical condition. So the relationships of the people that have passed away or deceased. The 47-year-old male is the suspect's father. The 5-year-old child, the suspect is the uncle to that child. And then the 2 that are in critical condition, there's a 33-year-old female who's the sister of the suspect, and a 2-year-old child who the suspect is the uncle, if that makes it clear. That is a female.
And he's being held in connection with first fire?
So at this time, we have we firmly believe that these are two isolated incidents. Kind of coincidence. One fire started and then the second one. Based on the evidence that we gained so far, they are isolated incidents. He is strictly responsible for the the second fire. The first fire is still under investigation. We have made an arrest in that, but they are not related. That is still being actively investigated, but not related.
You have made an arrest in the first fire,
Correct.
and that's a
Different
different suspect.
suspect, a whole different bunch of events.
Have you named that suspect? Was it the woman who was living there?
No, so that two different households. So no relationships, preliminary right now, no relationships between the two homes.
The suspect that was arrested in the first fire, is it a woman who was living in
Uh,
that first house?
That's still under investigation.
So just to be clear, both fires are arson fires?
They are both being treated as arson, but the first fire is still under investigation to what led to that fire. The second one is being treated as an arson and a murder.
Any idea how long? Led you to the suspect in the second fire and give any?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our detectives, along with Richmond's fire department, arson investigators, quickly went to the scene, conducted an investigation. I'm not going to talk about the details to that, but quickly identified the suspect responsible for this fire. As our detectives were on scene, one of our detectives saw the suspect standing behind our yellow tape at the scene. So he was safely taken into custody and arrested. As of right now, it's all being investigated. That is still being under investigation right now. We're looking into everything. We're looking into prior calls. We're looking into everything pertaining to that suspect of why he would do this.
Any idea on how long he had lived there?
It's under investigation. Under investigation right now.
Victims that died, did they die from the fire?
That is still under investigation, but the home caught on fire. I don't know exactly the cause of death yet, but they did pass away because of the fire. But the actual cause, we don't. That's still under investigation right now.
I think the chief mentioned that the suspect would be 2 counts of arson.
Yes. So when we describe 2 counts of arson with great bodily injury, that's because we have a total of 4 victims, 2 that are passed away and 2 that are in critical condition. So because they're in critical condition and the suspect's being charged for arson with great bodily injury, that's why you have that appropriate charge.
Just throwing it out there, the other arson fire, any idea, the gentleman arrested had a predetermined decision before the first fire was straight and come back. There's a fire about this horrific light bulb that be a fire.
Everything is being investigated still. All we know is we had the first fire, and roughly about 45 minutes later, we had the second fire. The Richmond Police homicide detectives, in conjunction with the Richmond Fire Department arson investigators, are getting those questions answered. But right now, it's still all under investigation. We're in the beginning stages right now, and there's still a lot of questions to be asked. And obviously, as this investigation continues, we're gonna provide you all with updates. And again, just echoing on the chief, both the fire chief and the chief. Senseless, horrible, tragic event. Someone has lost their child. Someone has lost a family member. A 5-year-old should not be dead. A 2-year-old should not be in critical condition right now. We want to echo that. And the Richmond Police Department and the Richmond Fire Department is committed to ensuring justice is done.
Were those victims locked inside of the house? Is there a reason why they
That is still under investigation right now.
I know the 4 victims were in the house, 3 transported. So were they alive when they initially were taken out of the house?
So we can confirm that the 47-year-old male was declared deceased at the scene. The other 3 were transported to the local hospitals where the 5-year-old child succumbed to their injuries.
And the gentleman he suspected 4 from his family all died from fire-related or smoke-related injuries. Are there any?
There's no, we firmly believe that the cause of death was related to the fires. We have no evidence to support of a shooting or stabbing.
Did the 2 suspects that have been arrested know each other?
That's still being under investigation, but we want to make it clear that the first and second fire, are isolated incidents. We have no evidence to believe that our suspect was involved in the first fire. That right now is in the beginning stages. As we get that, we will release it out to you.
Any of this gang related?
As of right now, all motives are being looked into. We have no evidence to support that, but we're going to look at every motive.
Can you say anything about premise history, location, calls?
Yes, that is being actively looked into as we speak. We're not going to speak on that as it relates to prior calls, but all of that is going to be taken in consideration in the investigation.
I'm just trying to understand that usually when you have a fire and the instinct of any mammal is to get away from the smoke,
Yeah.
so you don't die. It's not just one time, but this was 4 people, so
Well, it's almost 9 o'clock at night. It's still under investigation. We don't know if everybody was sleeping at this time. There's a lot of work that needs to take place. But all we know is two people, an adult and a child, lost their life, and another adult and child are in critical condition. That's all we know right now. It's still in the early stages.
are any of the 4 disabled?
That is being under investigation as well. I have no information on that right now. At this time, when we have updates, we're going to provide that. I sent you guys emails. We'll provide updates to the case. You guys can reach out to myself. I'm going to have press releases here shortly we can hand out to you all to include. We can get you a virtual photo of their suspect. That'll be provided. And we will go from there. This is going to conclude this, and I'm more welcome to talk to you guys afterwards for any of the press release. Just stand by. Another lieutenant will be here shortly. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll be here. Spanish? Let's see here. Anybody speak Spanish? Does he?
Majority speak?
Does he have?